Is it bad?
Dude, stop putting it on.
We're gonna spit out.
Now, this first episode of the season will be uploaded on all of our platforms. However, the rest of the Patreon exclusive content will actually be Patreon exclusive, not a misnomer. So, if you want to support us on our other platform for a whopping total of $1 a month minimum, please feel free to join us on our Patreon. Links should be in the description. Now, for all of our listeners out there who are only going through the audio, whether it be Spotify, Apple, or anything along those lines, I will let you know that this is a video, so you can actually watch it on YouTube, and you can obviously watch it on our Patreon exclusive. But without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Asclepius Podcast Patreon exclusive episode number 6. This is not a fun one.
It is weird.
Yeah, this is the first time we're in person.
Yep, I'm used to being at my desk, looking at having my own setup.
This is not a good setting to be doing our first one, I guess, because we're going to be suffering. We have the hot ones wings here. We're going with mild, then medium, then the hottest. 3 wings per. The last wing, we're going to have to dab it. So it's tradition.
Oh, what you should have done is I think I told you about it, that there's like a, what would you even call that? It's not a mask. It just goes over your hair so you look bald. And you could have been,
I could have been Sean.
yeah, you could have been Sean from Hot Ones.
Yeah. I don't want to do
That
that.
would have been perfect. Or you could have just shaved your head.
I would have looked like Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Or you could have just shaved your head.
I could have been like Walter.
All out.
All out. Well, so I just want to explain. We have one wing without sauce so that we're just able to fluff up our stomachs a bit. I didn't eat anything this morning, so that's probably not good. We also have some vegetables, some French fries, and some ranch. I hope you're okay with that. And then, yeah, I guess we're going to be just talking about what we normally do on the Patreon exclusive, except the last one, we're going to have a third party individual ask us some questions that are going to be really hard. And apparently, well, they're going to be coinciding with the spiciest wings. So,
Yeah. I ate something this morning because I didn't know how spicy this
What
was,
did you
and
eat?
I just didn't want to like suffer. So, yeah.
all right, well, wing one. We have to dink it, dude. That's the one on the
They're the
side.
same?
No, the one on the side, man.
What's the difference?
This one's naked, and then these are the mild, these are the medium, and those are the hot.
Pink? What is this?
Naked. How many, how many times are we gonna have to say it? Those are just wings.
It's not too spicy.
I'm like, oh man, give me some milk. I'm pretty good, huh?
Not bad.
It's like, this is normally how spicy I go. No, I'm joking.
I like mine a little more spicy than this.
Oh, actually, or are you just joking?
Well, significantly more spicy
Yeah,
than
okay. I
this.
was like,
This is have you seen the
mukbang.
Pedro Pascal? Where he's like eating a sandwich and he's just like eating. You know what I'm talking? That's what I feel like right now.
Where he's like, oh man. I don't think people understand at home that are watching this how much of a like jokers we are in person. Because like on the podcast, there's enough delay between what we're talking about, so that's like it makes it more awkward, and we're not like able to laugh or instantly react to things. Damn, you're going ham on that thing, man.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. It's good by itself, I think.
Yeah. Like if you didn't want spicy food, or if you were like recovering from something too spicy.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, dude, I just realized something. This is the only one?
Mhm.
Maybe we should have saved this.
I needed it before.
This would be like those ASMR videos
The mukbang.
where people are eating.
Yeah.
You could just hear it on the microphone. You watch YouTube videos when you eat?
Yeah.
Me too. But I watch videos of like people making food. I don't know why. I love watching YouTube videos of people making food.
Dude, I just love watching videos. All right. So,
What's today? Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
How's your week?
It was good. I just got that job at the clinical research position, so that's really cool. Can't disclose anything here because the FBI will kill me.
Alright, you've said too much.
I've already said too much, but oh, dude, have you ever tried the fries here?
I don't think I've ever been to Wingstop.
Bro, get one of the fries and dip it in the ranch. Oh man, I don't trust you. You need to get that tissue.
Drip.
Isn't it? Dude, these are my favorite fries, man.
Those are good. We don't have Wingstop where I live. We have...
Can you tell our audience exactly where you live, like specifically the location?
I live in Newcastle, Colorado.
Oh, dude, I was just joking.
Oh. I give out my address.
That's what
That was not sarcastic at all. I did not
know.
read the sarcasm. You left out the sarcasm.
No, man.
Well, anyways. I live like kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
What is that?
Do you like celery, man?
I'm more of a carrot guy.
What, dude? I should have saved this.
For what? Oh.
I'm holding on to mine, man. I don't know how hot this is gonna get. Brooke said when she ate the hot sauce, she said her teeth started like.
For like all of them, or which one made her
No,
teeth hurt?
she said these two are both less spicy than like Valentina. So I'm like, oh, perfect. She said that one was like her teeth started hurting.
Which one is that one?
That's the last dab. That's the one that's after, the bomb.
I've had bomb.
Yeah, I know. You told me it was horrible.
It's terrible. There's like if you could imagine like a nuke bomb. Like, well, I guess that's why it's called a nuke bomb. Imagine you can turn that into food and you ate it,
I think
and then you swallow it.
think that's why it's aptly named.
Yeah, it fits the description because
Yeah.
it doesn't even taste good.
Yeah, I heard that's like the last, like the worst sauce out of the whole roster.
I don't understand why they don't make that one the last one because that one's hot. That one's super hot.
Because they have to finish on their own sauce. Like, I think that's really smart
Aren't they
marketing.
all their own sauce?
No, just these three. The bomb, they don't make them.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But anyway, as far as my weekend goes, work at clinic was really good at the cardiology clinic. Made some good memories. I got a lot of a lot of progress on my personal statement. I submitted it and they were like, dude, it's like way better than what you've been.
Who'd you submit it to?
Med school coach. It's yeah. I paid
Is that it's
money
better?
for that.
What'd you do? What'd you say?
Well, okay, so you know the first one, I like added the story about like my mom having cancer when I was like 5 and how she like survived that, and that was like a really big thing that turned me into medicine. But upon reflection, I just thought it would be ethically. It's like in an ethical gray area where I feel like there'd be like an aftertaste of doubt. Like, I don't want to exploit my mom's story at any point. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, I get what you're
to get into medical school, and like people were like, use what you got, but I was like, I'd rather just. I don't think the ends justify the means for me. I'm okay with being like, I want to stand on my own merits. And sure, like my mom's story sort of like got me interested in medicine initially, but that was when I was 5. A lot of what made me go into medicine was way after, you know? And so this new story is just straight up my life and like what I've done in the past it's about the podcast too.
And they liked it more?
Yeah, well, because I told them straight up, they were like, you want to reuse the story of your mother? We think that's really good. And I was like, I think I could sit better with my decision of not using that story. Like they were like, it's not a bad thing to use that, and I was like, it feels bad to me, and that's more than enough. So,
Fair enough.
but regardless, I think the stories, it feels good. Bro, for like several months, I was just working on it, revising it. I made like 12 revisions, and they were like, dude, like you keep doing the same thing. And I was like, they were like, just take some time. And so I like took 1 month off, and then I re-edited it like completely after like healing a bit. And they're like, oh, this one's the best one that you've done. So yeah.
Fair enough.
But now everything's sort of on the up. So
Yeah, hopefully they like it.
yeah.
It makes you pop.
And I asked some of my the doctors that I work with at the cardiology clinic. I was like, "Can you write a letter of rec?" And they're like, "We'd love to." So
Oh yeah.
it feels good, man.
I feel like that should help you a lot. I feel like if doctors are able to write you a good rec,
Yeah,
I feel like that helps. Well, actually, I think that, but who am I to think?
yeah. But oh, and then the last update for my life, we recorded the most recent podcast episode, and it was really fun at the independent living.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
How'd it go?
bro. Okay, so first of all, a lot of our guests were super nervous, as you would expect. Like, if you're in like a setting like this where you're talking to the camera, it's immediately like a little nerve wracking, you know?
Dude, what'd they think? Did they think you were like from the news or something?
No, I straight up told them like I'm just doing a student led podcast, like nothing out of the ordinary. And then I guess we could grab our first wing soon. Well, actually, let's. But anyway, I asked some like questions, and like I was sort of like, oh, this is just like another day at the clinic. I talk to people this demographic all the time, and they started like relaxing a bit, and like there was some profound thing. I'm really excited for this upcoming episode.
Nice.
And
That's cool.
we had like a cute elderly couple, Dee Dee and Gene Emmons, and they were like, "How did we meet?" and stuff, and she was like, and like they're I just really like cute like old couples. That's one of the sweet ones. But
That's funny.
all right, so this is the classic hot sauce, chili maple. So it's sweet apparently. I haven't tasted any of these except for the Verde one because one of our colleagues had it here. One of our roommates had it here like earlier, so yeah. Anyway,
Which one do I grab?
these top three.
I'll grab this one.
Dink it, bro. We don't have to dink every single one, but that's very spicy.
That is kind of hot. You didn't. Put
Uh-oh.
You didn't put a lot.
I didn't. I mean, we could add more sauce.
I didn't think it was. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know why I was expecting it to be like basically nothing.
I thought it was gonna be nothing too. It's got some heat, dude. Oh, it's like very slight. It's really good.
Spices in it. Have you? I'm like, it was like that one episode with. Oh man, I don't know his name. I don't even know any of his.
DJ
characters'
Khaled.
name. No. He has like a different name. It's not like a common name. Oh man.
On what?
I can't even think of like even in any of his characters. If you watched The Office, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when they get that when Michael Scott leaves, and they have that new guy who takes over for Michael, and like Kelly Kapoor's in love with
Will
him.
Ferrell.
No.
Oh, Idris Elba.
Yeah, him. There's a video.
Oh yeah, he's like,
What the?
and it's like all in reverb.
He like starts choking on him.
Dude, I think it just caught in the wrong. Like he breathed in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happened.
Dude, try it. Like, that's good, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. Spicy?
No. I don't know why it was like spicy just by itself, but
Oh, I taste the sweetness a lot more now.
yeah. Dude, honestly, I'm just gonna like. Oh shit.
Those are good.
Yeah.
me, me and my friends have wanted to do this for a while. Like,
Yeah,
get
but it's
together.
expensive.
Yeah.
You look so scared.
I'm like, all right, I will see my way out.
Yeah, so I guess we just finished these wings. But
What flavor is that? Classic.
chili maple. Yeah. Do you want more sauce on yours?
Sure.
Yeah, you just go for it. Yeah, these 3 wings themselves are like $40. That's a lot, man.
Yeah. What's the whole set?
The whole set's like 200 or something, I thought.
It's very runny.
Yeah, this one's like it's got some vinegar or something.
Very watery.
And I shaked it up. But yeah, as far as like free marketing goes for hot ones, this is a good sauce.
Free real estate.
Free real estate, bro.
Free marketing. That's what they make videos for.
Bro, this is good.
Agreed. Good.
I could put that on eggs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I like spicy food.
I do too, but I don't want to like develop a second anus or something. I'm serious, man, bro. I don't want to.
And how would one do that?
If it's so spicy, it just burns a hole through my digestive tract.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, how was your week? Actually, maybe we should eat facing this way. And just bring up the plate.
My week. Let me think what happened. Pretty good. Just worked.
Yeah.
Our hospital's been busy. Like, it's supposedly, I mean, there's like seasons to this stuff where it's like during certain times of the years it's like busy, and it's like expected to be busy just because like a lot of respiratory stuff going around.
Mm.
And yeah, we were talking about this. I was talking to one of my coworkers and one of the people that work at the pharmacy. They were like, yeah, it's kind of weird. We're already in April, and it's like, it's kind of like time that all that stuff, the respiratory stuff, usually passes by. And we're still like busy. Like, it's just constant. But yeah, I don't know if I told you this the other day, but I'm trying to shift to the day shift.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up talking to one of the people before I left, like, because I get the 7 on, 7 off on my last day. Because my boss had told me, they're like, yeah, so basically, we're going to give you the day shift. We're just basically waiting on this person to, like, take over the nights, but it's going to be a few months. And I was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
But anyways, I talked to this other person the other day when I was leaving. I was like, what's a few months? Like, what's, give me time. Like August? Like, end of April? And she told me like middle of June. So it's not
It's not that
terrible.
bad.
It's not terrible, but like in my head, I'm like, man, I wish it was faster. But I mean, I guess you can't have your cake and eat it. It's just that night shift gets you. I'm tired.
Mm.
It's like your sleep is all messed up.
So, I mean, like, we're relatively healthy people in the population, right? Like,
Yeah.
and we're like, what, 20, like, young 20s, mid 20s.
Don't say mid-20s.
Oh, dude, we're mid 20s. Almost, right? 24, 25, that counts.
We don't talk about that.
Anyway, do you think it's like sustainable to do night shifts even for?
So, I think 100% no. No way. But
You think it's just you or? You legit think
No,
like people
I
in the
think-
population would?
Yeah, I think people would burn out. Like, I feel like your normal person would burn out 100%. And like, I've only done it for 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's no way. But if people do it, I don't know how. There's people that like this. That's what they like. That's what they do.
Do you feel like you're just weak? Like, does that ever come to your mind? Like,
No, I
'Cause-
think I could force myself to do it. I just don't think it would go well. Cause like one of my coworkers, he works at night and he's done it for 9 years at just at that hospital, and I'm like, how?
mm.
I would have probably went crazy. But I think there's no way.
But there's no like thing in your mind like. Well, I guess my main question is like, you know how in healthcare it's really easy to compare yourself to other people, and like you're already dealing with such a competitive field that like these people are like top of their classes, of top of their universities or whatever, and it's really easy to feel that like imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You ever feel like, man, maybe I'm just like not there yet with regards to stamina and health and like wanting it enough? Like you never felt that way, you despite how difficult it is to.
No, just because simply I think scientifically proven it just that's not how it's supposed to be. Like you can force yourself to do anything, I feel like, but like I think that's part of the reason why it's like part of the steps of like becoming a doctor.
Mhm.
It's like they make it like the people who are residents and they work how many hours and they don't sleep for how many days.
Yeah.
I think it's like kind of part of the test of like, are you really cut out for this? And it's like you can force yourself to do it, but it's like, in my opinion, it's not sustainable. And yeah, if you can, get out. Personally, is what I think. But
So, like, what is your purpose of going into medicine, I guess?
purpose?
Yeah. Like, what do you think is the goal of being a doctor? Why?
Why do I want to be a doctor?
Or why do you want to practice medicine?
I think, like, for one reason, I feel like a lot of people do not like going to the doctor. Specifically, well, not even specifically. I was gonna say specifically little kids, but it's like that's carried up all the way until adults.
Yeah,
Adults do not like going to the doctor.
No one does.
Um,
Other than med students, I guess.
yeah. When I was young, I was sick when I was born, so I like had to spend like my childhood frequently going to doctors. And I didn't know I was able to have doctor who he made it like not bad. Like you would go and you kind of look forward to it. You'd be like, okay, let's see if the doctor is like able to like say like something good, and like he made it so that he was still doing his job. Obviously, he wasn't just like making things like all nice and colorful and like not giving you like the real stuff.
Yeah.
But he made it so that he like portrayed himself in a way like you could tell the guy was smart, the guy was professional, he's like good with people, he's good with kids, and he made us like not afraid to go to the doctor. And to me, it'd be really neat to be able to help people and kind of one day put people in that situation where maybe even kids are like, I want to be like him and do something, maybe not necessarily become a doctor, but just like I want to carry myself like that in like a professional setting. Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So you look up to that and you only got one life to live and that's how you want yours to be, sort of thing.
Yeah. Like I feel like if I was able to accomplish it, I'd feel like my life was complete. I feel like I did something and did what I wanted to do.
So then my follow-up question is, do you think if medicine was, you know, doing all of that pain, like night shifts and everything, for the next 30 years of your life, No stopping. Do you, do you, do you think you can handle that to like achieve this dream of yours? Or do you think there's somewhere in your brain where you're like, honestly, man, I'd be down to be a carpenter or, you know, something else, like enjoy life in other ways? Because there's a lot of ways to enjoy life.
Yeah. Like, my dad's a carpenter, and he loves his job.
Dude, like,
He loves his job. I'm not trying to take credit from, like, people that do all the jobs that we need. Obviously, we need everybody. But for me, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't feel satisfied. I wouldn't be like, okay, I did what I wanted to do. And where I draw the line, because I
Yeah.
feel like you were kind of asking that too. I feel like it's pointless if I don't have like my friends and family at the end of it. Like if I like sacrifice all that to be like, I'm focused, I'm gonna be a doctor. Wait, I'm gonna ignore all this to the point where it's kind of like everybody went their own way, and like it's years later and everybody's just kind of not in touch anymore. Then I don't know if it's worth it anymore. I'm like, what's the point?
yeah.
For me, I don't know. That's
Oh, you're good. Dude, it's like Breaking Bad, like where Walter White does all of that meth empire building,
Exactly.
and then at the end, he lost his family, was disenfranchised. He had to like,
it's.
oh well, spoiler alert.
Oh no.
It's okay, we can put
I
it in the,
love that show. By the way, if anybody hasn't watched that, it's in my opinion great. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like his whole thing was like, I need to like help my family, and I think at one point there is a spot where like, I think Jesse tells him, he's like, dude, you got to your goal.
he was like 5 million's enough, man.
Yeah, and then like he was too
Prideful.
prideful, too ambitious,
Mm,
or to the point where it's like the family was the second thing, and he forgot why he was doing it.
yeah.
And like that kind of situation where it's like, let's say his family, let's say he didn't lose all the money, let's say he still had all the money. It was like, what was the point if his family was like, they didn't want anything to do with him?
Yeah. Dude, like, okay, I don't want to get into Breaking Bad too much right now.
Oh,
But
fair enough.
because like we'll talk about that, but I guess one of the things that I was thinking about was
Pass me Zen.
you just start
Thank you.
wiping sauce all over her coat, and I'm like, um, I was thinking about it, right? Because I love woodworking. I like working with my hands,
Sure.
and I think one of the crazy things for me is that I know this sounds like really bad to say and put it out in the universe, but I feel like this upcoming medical school cycle, I think there's like a decent probability that I'm gonna get accepted into medical schools. And this is the time where there's like the most conflict in my mind.
What do you mean?
Because like now that I know it's like there and it's present and I've had time to think about it,
Do you really want it?
it's like I'm like sure I do, but I can't help but in the paper towels, but I can't help but think like I know I would love my life if I was, an artist or if I was woodworker or a carpenter or like a watchmaker or like things that I know I would viscerally enjoy or like a cinematographer or a video maker. And I know that like that would be so fun. Like I just get to travel the world, like have a family, enjoy life, relax and still impact the world. Like there's no denying that there's plenty of impact through art, right? Like I mean, how many of our days has been like enriched because we watched a movie made by someone, or like thoroughly reshaped the way that we're perceiving things because we've watched or read some literature, I think there's a lot of mode or power behind anything that you throw yourself behind. And so I guess in these last couple months, I've been really asking myself, why medicine?
That's valid. Because I've also thought about it too. Like, it'd be really cool to like have a business
Yeah.
and just like, you know, run your business, do whatever it is that you like, and like that's how you make your money and you make your hours or whatever, and you're your own boss. Um, the problem is I cannot think of something that I would like. I don't have any like real other passion. Like I can't think of a business idea. Like, I can't be like, okay, I'm gonna like do carpentry and like that's gonna be my business. I can't do. I'm like thinking of stuff my family does, landscaping.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'm like particularly talented. I can't draw things. I can't make things. So, yeah, that's like kind of hard for me because that would be cool too. Or like, why can't you do both?
Yeah.
But I can't think of something that like is something that I do. Just because, I don't know, I guess that's just not me. I'm not like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what could you picture me doing for business?
Well, so this is my thing. I think that I skip the granular stuff, like the detail stuff, because it doesn't matter what you're doing in particular. Like really, like doesn't matter what job you start, there's always going to be a steep learning curve, and if you put enough time into it, you will get proficient at it. No matter what. Like I really do think there's a minimum threshold of intelligence or IQ that you need for a particular position. And then the rest, no matter how much, maybe some people grow faster, maybe some people innovate that field and they require a little more resources. But for the most part, like you want to become a nurse or a doctor, there's guidelines and trees that you just branch out. Like if this, then that, if this, then that, you know what I mean? It just, you eventually get the pattern recognition. It doesn't really matter. But I guess it's not necessarily what you're doing, it's how you feel when you're doing it.
Well, that's what I mean. I can't think of something that I like thoroughly enjoy to the point where I'd be like, this is what I would like to do. Other than I've always wanted to be a doctor.
But even then, medicine has superficial faults and appeals. Like, for instance, if I told you you're going to spend several hours a day just filling out paperwork, you're probably going to be like, ugh, what the...
Well, yeah, it's like that thing. It's like a huge fear of mine. It's like, let's say I'm fortunate enough to be able to make it and I do become a doctor and I get there and I'm like, oh man, this isn't for me. After I spent my entire life doing it. And then it's like, a lot of people have that problem where it's like, it's gotten so expensive to where they're like kind of just stuck there. They have to do it
Yeah.
to pay all the school that they went through. And I had a doctor tell me kind of like the same thing. It's like, if you're not 100% like this is what you're going to do, you're going to burn out. You're not going to like it. You know, it's super expensive to even get to that point. And yeah, he was telling me that he knows people that like, they did it kind of just to do it. And then once they were there, they were like, ooh, this isn't for me. But they were stuck with all the debt.
Yeah.
And so they at least had to stick with it for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of money. So yeah, I mean, how will you know until you do it?
Well, I think it's I've been really thinking about like growing as an adult, right? Like oftentimes, especially you and me, like we'll be told when we were kids, like be a man. Like don't be a little kid, don't be a little boy. I think it's not associated with gender. I think like it's being an adult, right? Because like for instance, one of the things that I found least attractive when I was dating people is like when girls would sort of like use that as an excuse, like their gender as an excuse to not be an adult. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, like, or whatever. Like, you should just be an adult. And one of the transitions, I think, is like being comfortable in laying in the bed that you've made. Like, Walter White in Breaking Bad, like, he does not ever take himself as like the reason why. Like, when the plane crashed and like a bunch of people died, he was like, Jesse, like, it's not us. It's not us. They're like, You know what I mean? Like there's always some way of self-justifying BS or whatever, instead of just saying like I made that decision and I am okay with being called a murderer or a well for Walter White's or like, you know, like being a criminal. Like if you're doing criminal activity, you should be comfortable with being called a criminal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like you made that decision. There it is, right? And like same thing with this. I feel like you should precede going into medical school with a lot of forethought. Like, and I think skepticism and not knowing if you really want to go into it is really healthy because it means that you've actually put time and thought into it. Like the people that are like, oh, money, it's secure and stuff like that. Like some people can go into medicine with that and succeed and have a fruitful careers and find their decision later on in life. But as you said, there's a lot of people that don't. And they're like, oh my gosh, now I'm just indebted. I have no other way of making up this money because I'm so specialized and the skills don't translate.
Or not even that. People that like decide that they're just in the middle of med school and they're just
Yeah.
like they're stuck. They have to finish because it's like how much money that they take out, and it's like if I get out now, it's like how do you pay it? At least if you graduated and you're a doctor, you're at least working as a doctor and you can pay it off at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a situation too that even the students in med school have.
And so I guess for me, when I say like, there's a lot of things that I know I can find satisfaction in, they're superficial. Because I think that at the end of the day, I know maybe you felt this, but there's like sometimes where you've been wanting something for so long and you finally get it and you realize there is no like elation. Like it's always going to be below what you were expecting. You know what I mean? And it's like a really dark place to be when you're like, I've done this. I've always wanted to graduate college or whatever. And once you graduate college, you're like,
now what?
oof, right? And if you keep living your life, like you sort of have to recognize the pattern and be like, okay, obviously I'm doing something wrong. Let's change a variable here. And for me with medicine, it's like I realized at the end of the day, it's not something I want. Like, it's not something that's intrinsically desirable for me. I'm not like, oh, that looks sweet or cool or whatever. Like, there's all those superficial like appeals and faults for it for me. But at the end of the day, I was thinking about like substance. Like, I don't want convenience and comfort from the job. I don't care if I get a better house from it. If that's what I'm looking for, I'm going to be disappointed because I'll get it. And there's always somewhere else to go. You know what I mean? It's like a never-ending pursuit of like climbing up the top. You're just going to get exhausted and like you're going to look down and be like, well, what do all those steps mean? I'm just going up for no point. But I feel like for me, I feel like no matter what, if I decide to pursue medicine and I was able to save a life or profoundly impact someone's life, I feel like that's a bed that I can lay comfortably in. Whereas if I became like a multi-million-dollar, business owner or whatever, at the end of the day, I don't care how many Ferraris or Teslas I have, I'm not going to be like feeling good about that. Like I know I won't, because it might be an initial kick of dopamine where I'm like, ooh. And then after a couple seconds, I'll be like, and now it's sitting in my garage and I'll drive it every once in a while. But like, who cares? I don't care how people view me with the... And so like, I don't know. It's sort of weird because I know as a job, I know being a carpenter or making watches or being an artist or being even a filmmaker would feel better for me. Like it's fun. And it'll be like an easier lifestyle strain sort of thing, right? But at the end of the day, I think I'd be making a bed that I wouldn't feel comfortable in. Like I'd lay in it and I'd always be thinking, my gosh, I didn't do my duty. Like I didn't I didn't fulfill my purpose is what I feel like.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe I went too philosophical, but I feel like pursuing medicine is inherently philosophical. You're dealing with death.
No, I get it. I definitely caught myself where like I set goals and I'm like, man, I just really want to do this. And then I get there and I make another goal. And I make another goal, and I make another goal, and I make another goal. And I've thought about this before, because, like, technically, there's no other goal that I have set that's higher than that's the goal.
Yeah.
Being a doctor. And I've thought to myself, I'm like, let's say I do become a doctor, and I'm going to be in the same spot. I'm going to be like, now what?
Yeah.
Like, let's say, how old am I? I'm 24. Let's say I'm a doctor by the time I'm 40 years old. Am I going to work as a doctor for 40 years? Like, am I going to be happy working?
No.
Like, obviously getting to that point is what I want.
But then what?
But then, do I work as a doctor for 40 years? Is that still going to be just as, like, fulfilling to me? I don't know. There's no way to know until I... There's no way to know.
None of us know.
I know nothing.
But I feel like, for me, the way that I'm tackling it is I'm just trying to tell myself, like, instead of me putting goals for myself, I think that's so superficial, and it's making a system that I know is going to fail. I've never felt satisfied with goals. I submit my application for med school. I don't feel better about it. I just feel like, oh, I did all that work and I still feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a good place to be in. And I feel like if the system that I'm currently working with is making me feel that time and time again, I need to figure out something different. And I feel like the way that I'm doing it is not necessarily a goal, but a way of life. Like, I'm literally just trying to do things where I feel like I used all my resources that I was given and afforded to the best of my ability. Like, look, we're doing this podcast right now. We've not made a single, like, we made $4 for Children's Hospital. Like, we're almost doing a subscription to make this thing, like a $40 subscription per month or whatever, to make this thing and invest in it. And I thought, like, man, that's way better than a $40 subscription to Netflix. Like, think about it. I think purpose is priceless. If I told you you have to pay me $40 a month to feel purpose, I would pay that in a heartbeat, because purpose is something that's deep. Like, I don't need to have that superficial dopamine rush. I don't feel dopamine rushes when I'm being purposeful. In fact, sometimes I have dopamine crashes. Like, I know it's hard, but mentally, I know, like, my gosh, this is good. Despite that, there's like a lack of excitement or like, oh, that satisfaction. I don't need satisfaction. That's not what I'm looking for. And, like, inherently, that is satisfying. Like, it's not like a crash of it. It's like a slow, like, right? Like, you and I have invested a lot of money into this podcast, but the way that I view it is, like, we get to make money for Children's Hospital, which is something that I find a lot of purpose in. And I get to enjoy, like, sharing information to people, helping them out.
Fair enough. Going back to, like, the whole goal thing, because I feel like I'm a pretty ambitious person. I feel like that's, like, for me, that's, like, tied with, like, being bad, but I don't think I'm bad. I feel like I just have high goals. And I guess, like, my question for you is, like, if you're not setting goals, how do you live life? You just kind of live life without, like, setting, like, I guess, what do you do? Do you get my question? Like, do you get my perspective?
Yeah. Because it's sort of like you're moving, but without.
Because it's like, yeah, you're just kind of here.
So, if I had an analogy, because I also find myself as an ambitious person, I think, and this is not me being a life coach, because like we both said, we don't have anything to share with people from success.
Yeah, I'm nobody.
Or whatever definition of success you hold. But I think goals is like saying I'm going to get to step 15. Goals is like I'm going to get to step 30. and step 40. Whereas purpose is like, I'm going up. Right? So it doesn't matter what step I'm at. I don't really care. As long as I get up as high as I can, I've achieved my purpose. Whereas like goal is like, okay, I got to step 15. Now what? And it's like an infinite amount of stairs, and all you're doing is climbing up, and you're like, why am I doing this if I'm chasing the steps? Whereas for me, I'm like, I want to get a better vantage point. I want to get the best vantage point. Like that point, like I never focus on the goals. I don't have to be like, oh, I got to step 15. Ooh, that felt good. Like, because then step 30 is right around the corner, and step 150 is right around the corner. And I'm just never going to feel satisfied because there's always a step above my last one. Whereas if I said, you know, like my goal is to exercise and like burn some calories and do as much as I can with what I'm given, like maybe I'm in a wheelchair and like steps is like impossible for me. Then let's see how far I can get up with other methods. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference between goals versus purpose. Goals are like the little marbles that are left behind. And like purpose is like the bag. Like, I
get what you're saying. But at the same time, like I don't want to settle. That makes sense.
Well, you never settle with purpose.
Well, I feel like that method, you're like going through life and you're like, okay, I want to be better. And then at some point you're like, well, this is as far as I got. Not bad. Pretty good. I was better than I did yesterday.
I get what you're saying, but it's...
I didn't know. For me, it just seems like impossible to like not set goals. Me.
I get what you're saying, but like you admitted when you get that goal.
Yeah, I know, but it's like if you don't, then you just kind of here.
No, but purpose, like, okay, so hear me out, because purpose is not just living life and then dying and being like, I did better, and then like, that's not what I mean by purpose. I mean purpose isn't like everything you do has a motivation. It has purpose. It has movement. It has direction, right? And if you look at your life from direction as opposed to goals, it feels better. Like my direction is up. That doesn't mean I'm less accomplished than you. I might have become Bill Gates or whatever with like business, and I'm still going up. But I don't feel like, oh, I made as much money as Bill Gates. That was my goal. And now I'm satisfied. You get as much money as Bill Gates, you're not going to feel anything. But if you said like, my purpose in life is to impact the world as best as I can with the resources that I'm afforded. And as a result, contingent or like a latent residual thing is that like I have to make as much money as Bill Gates to do that purpose, to fulfill that purpose. Then that's like a pseudo goal that you put for yourself, right? Where it's like, but it's more of a means to an end. And the end is that I impacted the world as much as I could. That's not like a step you make. That's something that you always go towards. You'll never feel like, you know what I mean? Like your goals now.
But can you have goals within that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you make little goals, like latent residual goals. Like for instance, if my purpose is to become a doctor, which is like a goal basically, then it feels superficial because I went to med school. Now I go there. Now I go there. And now I'm a doctor. And then that's it. Like your goal, like what are you going to die instantaneously when you become a doctor and you've lived your life? You're, like you said, you're going to be practicing as a physician for 40 plus years or whatever, hoping that you live a very healthy, prosperous life. And you're just going to be like, well, there's no more goal. Like you'll never feel satisfied. But if your goal is like, I'm going to help as many people so that they're able to live their lives to the fullest and impact society, then being a doctor is not, it's like, it's something that leads to your purpose, but it's not your goal.
I get your question. I mean, not your question. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But
it's
like,
semantics.
Your thing is, I want to help as many people, but then it's like, I mean, technically, like, is there a limit to how many people you could help? And if there isn't,
well,
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's semantics, what we're really talking about. But I think, like, I guess it's the type of purpose slash goal, because we're using the definition interchangeably, but I think it's like, what type of goal are you putting yourself? Mine is literally like biggest scheme, like forest for the trees, right? Like the biggest forest part for me is like, did I impact the world in a better way? And that's ultimately what I do. And if I say, out of all the pathways for me to follow, which one do I think has the biggest impact? And that's to be a doctor. Then I follow that. I don't care about MCATs or like getting the score or whatever. I just care about, did I impact the world the best way? What's the best way to do that? And if it's, oh, I did become a doctor, which I think gives me a better platform, then I don't feel dissatisfied when I become a doctor, because that wasn't my goal. That was just part of the path to get there. My focus isn't on the steps, it's on the direction. I guess.
I get it, but it's like one of the questions that med school, or not even necessarily med school, it's just a lot of people get asked is like the same question: why do you want to be a doctor? And a lot of people's like natural response is like, oh, it's because I want to help people. And then they say, well, teachers help people, and there's all kinds of other people who help people.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's say you helped a lot of people doing, let's say you're a bus driver and you helped a lot of people get to work every single day. You helped a lot of people. And like, let's say technically you helped a lot of people, which is your goal or your purpose. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I think as we get older, we refine our definitions more, right? And as we culminate more life experiences, it precipitates into a more refined definition of a lot of things. Like your definition of good when you're a kid is not doing bad. But as you get older, you realize definition of good is like helping people out. And then your definition of good gets even more refined, and it's living a life that you don't regret. And then eventually you keep refining it over time, because as you experience more faulty people and more people that are above your grade, right? Like you're able to compile all of those life experiences and be like, my definition has refined itself. I'm using, instead of like my like thumb to measure inches out, I'm using a ruler. And then from a ruler, I get like science grade material, you know, whatever. And so like, I think my current definition has refined beyond helping people, and it's using my resources and things that I've been given to the best ability. And I think my resources are overblown for a bus driver. There is no need to have a biochemistry degree to be a bus driver. If my resources maxed out to be a bus driver, that doesn't diminish the value of being a bus driver. Everyone plays their roles, but I just feel like I was fortunate enough to go beyond a bus driver, to go beyond a janitor, to go beyond a businessman. Like some people like Bill Gates, he was a bus driver. That's going to be fun, huh? But like he was a businessman and he impacted the world in his own way, or he impacts his world in his own way. But I don't know, like I think business and philanthropy is something that isn't really exciting to me. Anyway, so that's our little agree to disagree. Let's go into episode 6.
We're agreeing to disagree.
Episode 6. We're going to talk about it. Let's try one of the wings. Dink it. Just pick it up. Smell it. It tastes like salsa verde. You smell it? Oh, yeah. It needs more sauce. That's like barely.
I like that one too.
Not bad.
Sauces.
Yeah, dude. That one knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, episode 6. I like that episode. It was a good one.
That's a little spicy, man.
Is it? Oh, no. The last dab.
I love Valentina spicy. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
I was freaking out. Yeah, you did the same thing where we're like, it's not that bad.
Oh, it's the cat. I was like, what's that noise?
But you liked episode 6?
Mm-hmm. It was just a different perspective. Because I've got to talk to doctors who have like a different view on it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the doctors I've talked to, I don't even think it's necessarily that they don't love their job, but there's a trend where they keep trying to like be like, don't you want to do something else, like maybe X or Y? And I'm like, no, and they're like, well, and then they'll like give me some sort of reason, and I feel like with her, Dr.
Nancy Major, MD.
I did not get those vibes. To me, it felt like she was kind of like, yeah, like if you like it, go for it. And she was like trying to help people who aren't like particularly like naturally brilliant. She seems like the type to help people who have a passion for it and is willing to like open doors for people who aren't just like, I don't know, naturally gifted. That's what it felt like to me. And I did not get the sense like, oh, don't do this. On the contrary, when she was talking about how, I think you asked her something about like finances and like, I have a question about that question.
Mm-hmm.
Were you asking her like about money to become a doctor, or were you asking her about money after becoming a doctor? I thought you were asking her about money after becoming a doctor, and she answered it like money to become a doctor.
No,
Maybe I heard it wrong.
I was asking money to become a doctor.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, she was saying basically like finances is no reason to like be discouraged. Like
Yeah.
most people can't afford it because it's gotten so expensive. And yeah, she just talks about how she kind of tries to help people, even all the way up starting like in college,
Yeah.
undergrad. And I wanted to ask her a question just because I've asked other doctors the same question, and like the answer is the same. The question being like, would you do it again? Because like these people really seem like it wasn't their, like they don't seem like 100% like, oh, I love this, go for it. Yeah, I can recommend this 100%. And I asked them, I'm like, would you do it again? And they say yeah. But it's like weird to me because it's like, it doesn't seem like that. And I feel like, I don't know, I would have wanted to hear her answer for that. Because I feel like her answer obviously would be yes, because she seems like she loves what she does. I didn't know. I just wanted to hear kind of her take on it. Like, I know, like, the end answer, like, the most basic, yes, she would do it again. I feel like, I mean, I could be wrong, but she really seems
But you
like...
want the nuances.
Yeah, just because, like, other people who don't really seem like they were going to say yes, still say yes. And their reasoning is just, like, kind of like, how would I say it?
Superficial.
Kind of more like, yeah, they don't really have anything else. They're like, there's nothing else. But yeah, she seems like somebody who just loves what she does. And I think she does. She straight up says it, I think.
Yeah, well, going back, like, did you see the video or were you,
I wasn't able to watch the video. I could just only listen to this.
Oh. Well, in my introduction, I wanted to summarize Dr. Nancy initially because that's what I like to do for all the intros. I like summarizing our... Dude, that's sort of spicy because I put the spice on all three. It started building up a bit. I'm sweating a bit. Dude, I think we should... It's not been anything.
I think we should drench those?
I think we take one bite. If it's like spicy, but like barely, like not to the point where we're suffering.
No, dude. I say we just drench him.
But oh my gosh. Okay, fine. Anyway, oh, Brooke's gonna laugh at us because she's gonna ask us questions. I think
You're tearing up.
me? No, I'm not tearing up. I'm tearing. This is dude. So I was thinking, Dr. Nancy's so well put, and like I don't know if you've got to see her, but she looks like dude, she looks like nothing's out of place. Like she's very relaxed and easygoing, but at the same time, like she just exudes competence.
Oh yeah, you could definitely tell right away.
And
She's legit.
that's not mutually inclusive with physicians. I will say, like, there's plenty of physicians where I'm like, like, not to say that they aren't, but I'm just saying, like,
Doesn't seem like it sometimes.
sometimes, yeah, Dr. Nancy is one of those people that are competent upon competent. And despite the fact, dude, there was not a single moment where I was like intimidated to be in front of her.
Yeah.
She was just really approachable and affable. And it seemed like, despite the fact that you make all your tiny errors, right? She was listening, and she was listening with intent. Like she was going beyond the, I hate when people say, don't you mean this instead of that? Like, and they're like pointing out the grammars because you're communicating despite the fact that you're not saying it perfectly. I liked just how attentive she was and how she was trying to understand, like truly understand in a way
A
where,
human.
yeah, she was like, I get you. Like, this is what you're trying to say, right? And I appreciated that. And I don't know. I just really like the way, I feel like if I was a patient of hers, I'd feel so comfortable in telling her everything. Like, oh yeah, I do drugs or whatever. Because some patients, dude, they calcify and they put up these walls and you're not able to go around them or circumvent them. Like, you're just like, okay, well, this is the extent that I can help you because there's a barrier that you're putting up to let me help you. And as patient autonomy, you're not allowed to rip down those walls forcibly,
Yeah. I think you started off that video saying like that you felt super comfortable, and like when I was listening, I was like, I felt comfortable listening. I was like, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
She felt like she's for the people.
Of the people, by the people.
Yeah.
It's like Obama. Let me be clear. And then just disappear. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked it because it's like you said, somebody who's like so well put together. Like she talks about her story, and it's like, it's not like this cookie cutout story that she has where it was just like boom, boom, boom. It was like she had to do things certain way, and like certain things were like, okay, I didn't like this, I'm gonna go try this, and then this ended up being this, and it's like, it goes to show that maybe not all the time it's like step A, then step B, then step C, then step D.
Yeah.
We were just talking about not taking steps, but it was refreshing. Because, like, the doctors I talked to, they're, like, very similar in the sense that they're, like, you can tell that they're, like, well put together, they're smart, they're just, like, overall, they're just good at what they do, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And it's like, you ask them, because you're, like, at least with me, I'm, like, sometimes I feel like I don't fit in with, like, the whole, like, medicine, and it's, like, you ask them and they're kind of like, oh no, medicine was easy for me. And like, they don't necessarily say that exactly, but they're like, oh yeah, I went to college, got a 4.0 GPA, and then I took the MCAT, it's pretty easy. Got a, okay, they don't say that, but
Or
it
they say-
sounds like they're saying it like that. And then they're like, yeah, I got like a 415, or sorry, 515 on my first try. And then you're
up
like,
low.
and you're like, yeah, just didn't study that much, that's why I didn't do so great. And you're like, okay.
Dude. Or they say like, oh yeah, it was really hard, but they're just saying it to be socially
Yeah,
approachable.
Like with her, it's like even if she is super smart, I don't think she downplays it. To me, it didn't feel like she downplayed it. To me, she like was like, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's just being who you are in a way that is, It is refreshing. I
Do
feel
you
like
know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't like, oh yeah, I just did this, this, and this, and it was like, me.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. And you're like, But her, she was like, felt like real, and she was like, well, it's because
Yeah.
at the time I couldn't afford it, so I went in and I did the army. They helped me pay for it, and then from there I went to this place, and then from there I went to here, and it's like, okay, well, it's good to see that like not everybody just like goes directly into it and just like nails it how like how you would imagine it. Like go to undergrad, get accepted.
Well,
take
she
the
nailed
MCAT.
it, dude.
She did, but it's like it wasn't like so direct.
Yeah.
And she like learned things about herself, and like she learned that like I wanted this, but then I actually really like this.
Yeah.
And I had my priorities over here because I'm a mom, so I really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so it's like, okay, so you can have other priorities. You don't have to just like do this, or you can also work, and like it's cool because it takes you away from school for a little. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I like that.
I liked it. It was like it felt peaceful. They weren't that spicy. Well, okay, to be fair, we didn't put that much on them. I
Well,
didn't.
we're lathering these up.
The hot ones yet?
We're lathering them up.
Yeah, the first two weren't spicy.
Dude, Servando said we're lathering them up, so
Those guys weren't the president. Sorry.
chill,
The
bro.
whole point.
Yeah. But dude, this I don't know, man. This looks
Isn't
bad.
the whole point to be suffering?
Bro, look. I'm
This
putting
was
extra
your-
on you.
This was your idea, my boy. You're putting what on me?
I'm putting more on yours.
Oh.
Cause you didn't put any of the hot sauce on yours, man.
Those are good though. I like them.
They're really good. Yo, flip the wings over for me. So we get. We're eating all of them, bro. I don't care what you say.
Good luck.
What are Brooklyn's?
She's a vegetarian, dude. Flip this one.
Oh yeah, how'd she eat the sauce?
You don't have to have wings for the sauce, man.
I tasted the sauce.
Why'd you do that already? Is it bad?
Dude, stop putting it on. Tim,
No, bro, you said.
bro. Tim, we're gonna need something.
Okay,
Dude, look at my face. I get so it's red right now.
babe, just ask the question.
Okay.
Dude, this is your idea. You told. I said I don't think we should do that, and you're like,
It's cause it's it's cause it's like you go from like a 2 to like straight up a 10. Like what is that?
Like, can you give them
Oh,
more
what?
Dude, did you see how much I tasted? It was
Oh,
nothing.
Okay.
We're about to.
It's gonna be bad.
Okay. Ask the first question.
Oh my god.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Wait, we have to take a bite first.
Yeah, you. Didn't get. Break.
Oh no. Don't get it on your lip.
What is one thing
Oh
I hate the most about the other person?
no! I hate you for suggesting this. Oh, bro.
This was your idea.
Dude, I don't know if you're gonna be able to answer these questions.
Something I
Oh,
hate
bro.
right now.
This is not good,
Oh no.
bro. That was the dumbest idea.
Yeah.
Dude, this is bad. My gums. Bro, give me the fries. Okay, you answer first. I don't want to live.
It's cheesiness. It's like corny. All the time. Alright, say something. Dude, you have to finish your wing. You took one bite.
Oh. That water went up my nose. I hate how often you ask questions.
Right. We answered it.
Next.
Dude, I don't want to live right now. That went up my nose. You made me laugh.
I'm gonna do this one. Okay, the first person to get the correct answer for this multiplication problem doesn't. Well, you guys already added extra. I was gonna say doesn't have to add an extra drop. You already added extra. So first person who wins, I don't know what they get.
It tastes good.
Okay. Are you ready for the multiplication?
Uh huh.
17 times 28.
Bro. 214.
80 plus. My son.
17 times 20. 100.
Dude, I hate you. Wait. 17 times what?
268.
17 times 28. We'll see who gets the closest.
No, I'm answering.
168.
Bro, shut up. That's way off. Frick. 360. What's like 400, 560, 520,
476.
476?
So did you go over?
Yeah. Bro,
Why are you crying?
I just hate you. Bro.
That
Dude,
wasn't
I told you we
fair.
should have tried it first, man. You said just lather it up. Okay, go.
Okay.
The other ones were nothing.
Bro, that was like, this is abuse.
What do you think is the main source of obesity?
Lack of exercise.
Genetics, I think.
Is that all you guys got?
Is neither one of those?
No, it's not. There's not an answer.
Debate it.
Oh. Exercise, 100%.
Okay, why?
I feel like you can eat whatever you want as long as you exercise enough. Like if you... Matt Stoney. No. Eric the Electric. He's a YouTuber. He eats crazy calories.
him.
Anyways,
I don't know who he is.
he also exercises a lot.
Bro, I hate him.
Alright, your genetics thing.
Bro. Are you
Calories
serious? You
consumed
can't.
versus calories burned. Pretty simple equation.
Bro, you can't outrun a bad diet.
I feel like you can.
I think it's genetics because a lot of your craving for food comes from your brain, and your brain chemicals are almost like.
Alright, let's say you run a
Established.
marathon each week.
My ears are sweating.
That's impossible.
So, bro, I hate you so much. That was the worst suggestion.
You gonna eat another one?
Yeah, we have to eat all three.
What?
What? Okay.
You got an answer?
No.
Okay.
Guys.
Next question.
Okay.
How many more do we have? Think it.
I'm not hitting it.
Oh, you like the drums? I'll eat you like the flat?
Which one of you is more likely to become Walter White?
I don't know. You?
I was gonna say me. So you'd be Jesse. Oh my gosh, that would be.
My reasoning is because I feel like he's better at chemistry.
My reasoning is because I'm manipulative. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
dude, my ears.
do your
sweating.
best impersonation of Walter White.
Oh, I have to remember what he says. No, Skylar, you don't understand. He's like, I don't run from the danger. I am the danger. You had to pick a different quote.
That's the problem with you in thinking. You are thinking. Oh man. Bro, my lips.
I got another one. Jesse's about to OD. He's like, Jesse, Jesse, wake up. Sorry. Next.
What else? What else does he do?
Good thing you didn't say Jesse, because I know exactly what he says.
He says,
Sorry.
you good?
Yeah.
That was a really good impersonation of Walter White.
Oh man, when he got cancer.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Okay. If you could teach everyone in the world one concept, what concept would have the biggest positive impact on humanity?
Oh, freak is not a question. You go.
One concept? Give me an example. Use it in a sentence.
In a sentence? Oh.
A concept?
I need a,
What are you doing? You
I need air. Oh. It doesn't exist. The limit does not exist.
I don't know. Oh, limit.
That wasn't my concept. I'm just saying the
Oh.
pain doesn't exist.
I was like, that's terrible. Concept.
Bro, do I look disgusting right now?
Right now?
Dude, it's taking you so long. I'm using circular wings so there's more surface area for sauce. I'm suffering more than you are.
Cap.
We can go. Go, man. Let's take it.
My mouth hurts.
I think a concept that would benefit humanity more is empathy.
The golden rule.
Hell, whoa, we chose the same one.
No, that's different.
Treat others as you would treat yours. Oh, treat your others the way that you would treat your gold.
What?
Oh, okay. What's your the golden rule? Actually, causation versus correlation. People are idiots with statistics. They need to learn that. That's my yeah. You're shaking.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Okay. Serious? Do you need a trash can? Do you guys need more fries? I have more fries.
I need help. Oh, I have water.
Okay. What's more question?
I don't even know. Something about calculus. Just because I
What?
suffered through it, so everybody else should.
Okay, next question. Do memories still exist if we forget them?
Hmm?
Bro, don't spit out, man. No. Bro. Drink that shit. Drink it, man.
What?
Dude, better.
You're sweating.
Dude, I told you I was sweating.
Sweating.
Do memories still exist
I'm
if
dinking
you
you.
forget them?
No. Hear me out. How would you remember? No, because it's like if you can't remember it, then they don't exist. Nobody else can see it or think of it.
I think you have to properly define memories. I think they do exist because they're just different permutations of neurons in your brain. And so they exist and there's the neurochemical. It's just that they're not firing.
Exactly. So they don't exist.
So if a car doesn't fire up and work, does it not exist on service video?
That's different.
What? Okay, more questions.
Okay.
Oh, dink it.
Bro, we have to do the last one?
Bro, we're eating all of it, man. We don't wimp out, man. Think
Oh,
about the
man.
kids. Okay, eat it first and then you ask the question.
Oh.
Look at how much sauce is on this. You don't have that much, man.
I just ate it all. Eat it, man.
Every orifice in my body
What?
burning.
Okay.
It's good.
No, it
looks
ain't.
better in the white coat as a doctor?
Damn,
Man.
I look good.
Bro, I look like a K-pop star.
I look like Dr. Mike.
Bro, but the whole package counts. You'd be like, hey, I'm your doctor. And we would just look janky. But me, I'll be like, hey.
What does that even mean?
I got the Dr. Riz.
The Rizzler?
Oh, you have to argue for your point, man. Did I touch my nose? My nose is burning. Oh. This is like torsemide, bro. This is a diuretic. I'm peeing out all the water from my face. Oh. That was a horrible idea, man.
I can't.
Is it burning your teeth?
No.
That's what happened to me.
No, it's burning everything else. Like my tongue and lips.
I'm gonna have a religious experience on the toilet, bro. I'm gonna pray to God.
Dude, that Sean guy from Hotlands does this, like, on religion.
His paychecks just go to reinforcing his toilet. Reinforced ceramics or something.
What was the question?
Which one of you would look better in white coat?
I still say me.
Why? You can't just say.
I have blue eyes. I'm taller.
Ow. I have cool glasses.
I can see without glasses.
No, you got astigmatism, bro.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
Is there any other questions?
Those are all the questions.
Nice doing business with you.
Wait, I have one more question.
Okay.
Why?
Okay. Wow, look at all the sweat.
You got candy or something?
Why? How would that help?
I don't know.
So capsaicin's oil based. So if you have oil, it might rip off the.
No, you have to drink soap.
No, what?
It breaks it down.
Bro, that's.
Science.
Detergents are extremely alkaline. They're gonna rip through your proteins to nature.
I can't swallow because I'm breathing. Have you watched Anna de Armas do this? No. Who was it? Wasn't her. Who was it?
Anna de Armas.
No, freaking Wednesday.
Oh, the girl that you're trying to mac on?
Her.
Oh!
Bro, she ate it.
It burns.
And she was just like, that's pretty good.
It's not that bad.
You're
I have-
literally drenched.
Bro, it's inside that matters. The outside hurts.
My lips tingling. I'm lightheaded. I still feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I know I'm not gonna throw up because that would hurt.
I was put on this earth for a reason.
Why?
To eat fries. Can you give me more fries? It's not that bad, bro. Bro, you didn't finish your wings. Bro, why are you water bending out here? What's so funny?
You didn't see what happened?
No, I just see water all over your shirt. Oh, just give me the. Forget the. Oh, there's carrots. Oh, give me that. Don't moan like that again, man.
You're doing it.
You're making me feel weird.
I went to drink water and I went too fast. Water went everywhere. I hit my tooth.
What is this?
Bro,
He needs to finish. Bro, all the meat, all the bones,
eat the bone.
eat the bone.
Bro, when I tell you I can't, I cannot.
And there we have it, folks. That is the end of the episode. Be on the lookout for more. Follow us, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Really helps the algorithm, but you already know that. Peace.